All right, next up is number 4 Alabama surviving a scare from South Carolina, 29-22. Let's go over the highest graded player, starting off with the Alabama Crimson Tide. Their highest graded player was linebacker Deontay Lawson with a 78.1 grade in the win for Alabama. Second highest graded player was running back Jam Miller, 75.2. Cornerback Deshaun Jones, who had a massive pick six in this game with a 73.2 grade. Another defensive back here in Bray Hubbard, 71.9. Another defensive back here as well in Dijon Lee Jr., 71.1. And the Heisman hopeful Ty Simpson with only a 56.2 grade in the win for Alabama. Let's go over to South Carolina with their highest graded players in the loss. Their highest graded player was cornerback / return specialist Vakari Swain, 76.3. Defensive tackle Nick Barrett, 70.3. Safety Peyton Williams, 69.7. D tackle Monkel Goodwine, 69.1. Tree Babalade, the offensive tackle, 69.1 as well. And Lenora Sellers with a 59.5 grade in the loss. Dalton, what told the story of this game?
I think just what jumps out at me, and it was the same case against Tennessee with the pick six last week from Xavier Brown. This Alabama team now for 4 straight games, they've just made a habit of making huge game-changing plays on defense, and there were 2 more in this game. The drop from Rasul Faison that led to the Deshaun Jones pick six on the first drive from South Carolina of the day, and then the Deontay Lawson fumble, forcing Sellers to fumble in that tie game when Sellers had a chance to come down and win, and he immediately turns around and does that. I just think when you look at this Alabama team, not only are they obviously really talented, really good, the quarterback Ty Simpson struggled a bit in this game. South Carolina's defense played about as well as they could have, right, holding this Alabama team down. But I think you just look at this defense. And they're not always the best defense. They're not the best defense in the country, but they might be the most clutch right now. The pass rush isn't great, but the run defense is solid. The secondary's been really good. 7 takeaways in their last 4 games, and those have honestly been the biggest plays of this big win streak for Alabama. They keep making timely plays like this on defense, and they're going to be in a really good – they're already in a really good spot moving forward, but it's so big to make up for any deficiencies you have with takeaways, and Alabama's getting them at just the right times. And as far as how it relates to me to South Carolina's offense, they do not have enough on offense to make up for big mistakes like that. South Carolina's running backs, on top of the Rasul Faison drop that led to the pick six, 19 carries for 44 yards. Lenora Sellers, he had the 2 deep balls, especially the deep post to Nick Harbor. That was a big play, but on throws under 20 yards, he had a 40 passing grade in this game. There's just still more to go when his development for Sellers as a passer. They do not have enough offensively to make up for mistakes like this. Alabama forced them into a couple huge ones. Those were the 2 biggest plays of the game, and they've been making plays like that now all year. They've made a habit of it on Alabama on this defense. They attack the football. They make game-changing plays.
Yeah, just South Carolina's mistakes were what I'm talking about most in this game too, because and credit to Alabama for forcing them into those mistakes in this one, but South Carolina has to feel like they let this one through their fingertips, quite literally in some cases too, because Rasul Faison had a pass bounce off of his hands that Deshaun Jones returned for a pick six, so that interception was not Lenora Sellers' fault in this one. What was his fault was the fumble late in the game. Obviously, that set up Alabama's game-winning touchdown. Also, you had a holding penalty that negated a 15-yard touchdown run by Lenora Sellers. Another holding penalty completely halted a potential touchdown drive, too, from South Carolina. You missed a field goal if you're South Carolina, too. So credit to Alabama for staying resilient in this game. But like I said, Shane Beamer and the Gamecocks right now, they got to feel like this one just got away from them.
Absolutely. No, look, road games in the SEC are tough to win, no matter the environment, no matter the team. You go out there and you just find a way to win and move on with it if you're Alabama, and you're absolutely right. I mean, South Carolina, they just don't have room to make those mistakes, and you feel like all of a sudden they're running out of time to win enough games to even make a bowl game here, and there's just too many deficiencies to me on their offense to make up for that. So, no, credit to Alabama. Sometimes you just have to find a way in these games, especially with the letdown potential of having just beaten 4 straight teams in the top 20, and then you go, okay, we're going to South Carolina. they're not that great. Well, it's on this day, they played you until your very last punch, and they found a way, Alabama. They just continue, especially the defense. I just think it's so impressive how in the 2 red zone turnovers. They could have easily lost to Vandy. The 2 red zone turnovers they forced. The pick 6 against Tennessee. The rest of that Tennessee game, statistically, was just about even, and that pick 6 just swung the whole game in Alabama's favor. Right now, you've got these turnovers in this South Carolina game.
Pick 6 here, too. They have a penchant for massive pick 6s.
I mean, just it's not just, we force turnovers, we get the football. It's like turn the game completely upside down type of plays. They're making a habit of it. When you can do that, it's great. Because there's going to come a day soon where maybe they don't get 2 of those, right? And then Ty Simpson but he can do that. We've seen him do that too. So I think just the combination of the different ways that Alabama's winning games, that's the reason they're in the top 5 right now, and they've been able to bounce back from that early loss.
Yeah, shout out our social media director, Justin Wagner, is in the chat right now. Big Alabama fan. Went to Alabama. Big win for his Crimson Tide.
It's a good one to be right now.
Absolutely.
I mean, you feel pretty good about that.
So, Dalton, you stole this guy from me for my most impressive. I wanted to go with him, but you stole him from me. Shout out Deontay Lawson, who was phenomenal.
He, especially in the second half, he played like an absolute maniac. You look at, he was their highest graded player in the second half of this game, an 88 PFF grade, a 90.9 run defense grade for the game, 12 tackles, 4 pressures, a pass breakup, and then the fumble, not just any forced fumble. Number 1, ripping it from Lenoris Sellers, who's a monster. And 2, on that same play, just the awareness, Tim Keenan is laying face down on the football, doesn't even know it, and basically Lawson has his arm jammed under him going, hey, grab that because I know it's out. He can't even see the football, and he's like, I know it's out. I got it out. Talking to big Tim Keenan, the biggest guy out there on the field, going, hey, the football is like just lodged in your stomach right now. If you just grab it, we're going to win this football game. He's screaming at him like an inch from his ear. I mean, Lawson, I'll tell you what, and these linebackers, it's a talented group with Lawson and Justin Jefferson, who was really good in this game. Again, Nakai Hill-Green as well, the transfer from Colorado. But you talk about a leader, just a guy stepping up when you need it the most. That middle linebacker, Deontay Lawson, he did it in this game, especially in the second half. He was all over the place.
Yeah, a phenomenal job by him getting that ball out the last second, too. I don't know if you saw Sellers in the post-game interview, but they asked him about that fumble. And he was like, yeah, I had 2 hands on it. I was going down to the ground. I put one hand out to brace for impact on the ground. And right when that happened, Deontay Lawson ripped that ball out. So he was like, hey, great play by Deontay Lawson.
It's an ultimate for Lawson play to the whistle type moment. And again, not just that, it amazes me. You talk about the awareness that he can't get to the football, but Tim Keenan's laying right on top, and it's like, just put your hands on it. Like, don't. He I almost wonder if he said it quiet enough to not even make Sellers or anybody else aware and like start a pile or anything.
Tim Keenan's not used to holding the ball in his hands. That's why Ryan Grubb's got to draw up some Keenan Proctor and Tim Keenan.
Yeah, he's got to get Tim Keenan the football. We got to get this going.
Yeah.
We got to
give him a handout. We got Keenan Proctor a handoff.
We did. Didn't work this time.
Didn't get a first down. I think the perfect streak of every carry going for first down is dead.
It's the fact that you have to be aware of it, though.
Yeah.
See that? I'm telling you, we're still waiting for the next pass.
Put Tim Keenan at least at left tackle when Proctor is taking the handoff.
Oh,
at least you could do that.
Unbalance it, make him eligible somehow. We're going to find it. We're going to get Tim Keenan the football again on offense. We're going to do it.
We need it so bad. Oh,
I need every player.
I need
every player on Alabama's roster at some point to touch the football this year.
That'd be incredible.
All of them. All the defensive guys are doing it.
Yeah, they're all doing it. Yeah, that's what I'm shouting out right now. The Alabama secondary. If you notice in that top 5 that I mentioned before for Alabama, 3 of the top 5 were secondary players for the Crimson Tide. They were phenomenal in this game. 5 different players for Alabama in their secondary had at least a 65 coverage grade, which is basically like above average for us. So Bray Hubbard, Deshaun Jones, Dijon Lee Jr., Keon Sabb, and Damani Jackson all had at least a 65 coverage grade. 3 were above a 70 in Bray Hubbard, Deshaun Jones, and Dijon Lee. 2, mentioned before, Deshaun Jones had a pick 6 in this game. Only a 76.7 passer rating allowed by Alabama, negative .206 EPA per pass allowed. And also, Dalton, they needed to play this way because they had no pass rush. Alabama really did for most of this game, too. So, outstanding job by Alabama's secondary, which has been easily, I would say right now, the best part of their pass defense with the pass rush kind of coming and going in every single week, it feels like. Alabama secondary has been consistently fantastic all year.
Honestly, outside of a 1 deep post to Nick Harbor, which just happens in South Carolina games, that's how that works. They were outstanding. And you look at Sellers, without screens, I'm taking 7 out of 8 completions on screens here. Without screens, He only completed 11 of 25 passes.
Yeah.
That's how good Alabama's secondary was in this game. It is one of the best units in college football. And again, the fact that they make plays on the ball and make game-changing plays and interceptions, pick sixes, things like that, it makes them a dangerous unit. It's hard, even with sometimes the lack of consistent pass rush, it makes them very hard to throw into the teeth of that defense.
Yeah, as Justin said in the chat, survive and advance is exactly what Alabama did. 29-22, beating South Carolina, remaining a top 5 team in the country.